Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we're going to be continuing to explore various kind of shells in Explorer. We are taking a look today at a mono-white Karn deck, I'm calling it. I found it off MTG Arena Zone, kind of floating around the Twitters. It is kind of playing a mid-range shell, so you have ways to kind of get ahead on mana, like Ambitious Farmhand. You have card advantage and like Thraben Inspector, Spirited Companion, the Circuit Mender in a way. And then really you're playing Karn for a wish board. You got Scion of Urza, you got Wandering Emperor. I swapped to have an Elspeth in there because I like Elspeth. Got a Redain because there's not as much I'm finding control on the ladder right now. GOLOS with the World Tree gets you free value. You got sweepers in Depopulate, Shatter the Sky, and Farewell. I did a split of Depopulate and Shatter the Sky. There's less Winota right now, but there's more mono red. And just like mono blue as well. You have a bunch of cheap answers in Portable Hole, March of the Otherworldly, Fateful Absence, kind of scattered in there. Bunch of utility lands, castles, Ajanjo, Cave, Arch, Blast Zone, Cascade. So basically, you're like, how do you get colored mana in a GOLOS deck, in a mono white deck? Well, GOLOS lets you do so with either the Cascading Cataracts or the World Tree, and then we got some Faceless Havens in there. The sideboard, we have Yorion, but then we have Weathered Runestones. We're doing this over Cage because it stops Greasefang. And then this puts into Exile, so then you're fine. It's not playing from your library. Board Reset and Cataclysmic Gearhulk, another Circuit Mender, GOLOS on the side, God Pharaoh, and Treasure Vault. One thing we might want to see is if we want the Portable Holes to play into there. We might also... Yeah, I think Runestone in most cases is going to be our graveyard option of choice. So we'll run it through. I want to just test like a couple decks. We were trying a couple mono red decks that have done well against me, but we just never really got lucky in those games. I'm still a fan of Rakdos. I would have to probably tweak it now, and these are where I kind of want to play these games in best of one to see what we're running against. Running into a lot of mono blue. That was probably our most played of the games. Some Greasefangs. Mono blue is going to be an interesting one. They have counter spells with pressure. So we want to see if our cheap interaction plays well. And just kind of go from there. But largely, like I'm still looking at the stats from Untapped. Like mono blue is doing well. Various mono red decks. It's still a little bit just lagging in terms of getting enough sample size from the Winota ban because that just went into play. This is on Saturday. Ban went in Thursday afternoon. You're still likely going to see some variations of like Greasefang as well. We have ways to lock it out. They actually can't crew with Karn on the battlefield. Probably try out a Fires deck as well, but I'm a little concerned running Fires into a kind of known mono blue style deck going around. We go first. I think we keep... It's a little bit awkward. I would have loved to play this on 1 to hold up Fateful or the card draw on 2. Hoping to hit land next turn. Okay, Angels is fine. I think I'm more interested in hitting the land this turn, to be honest, since we have Depopulate. And like this gets them to play more into the board. Okay, so they don't have it this turn. A little awkward, but we actually don't have the right mana. So I'm going to do this. It'll buy me some turns. I want them to commit more to the board. Shield of Valkyrie here. Can soak up some damage. I could also put a charge counter on this to deal with 2s. We'll see what they do here. They're gonna gain some life here. Yikes. Yikes. Where are my lands, bro? Gonna get them some angels on the board. We just really need to obviously hit a white source. Yeah. How the game kind of goes. That's real frustrating. We had the answer, and I think it's right to get them to play more into the board there. Like, while we could have taken Jada off, it doesn't really do much in terms of, like, sequencing. Just never drew the white source. The lands are a little awkward, and we might want to go up a couple more white sources, but still in that, like, we have 20, 25 white sources. Opponent goes first. I need to hit lands with this. So I have 2, 14, 15, 16, 17. $26, $27, $28. Are they seriously only running 32 lands in this list? Okay, we need to check our land count after this game. Because if it's 32, then that's way too few. I'm not, like, miscounting anywhere. $25, $28, $32. Too few. So this could be Greasefang. I could exile this, but I think it's probably right to just get him to play into the board. Let's see what they do here. Probably should have waited. I probably should have shocked there to put Yori into hand. I was concerned about playing that was if they did have Thoughtseize, they can take my land away. My play's got to get this Wandering Emperor down. Could go like Chandra this turn, which would be a little bit annoying. So in both these cases here, depopulate or shatter the sky would yield me the same result. Gotta add 2 more lands to this deck. can depopulate, or I can get Wandering Emperor going. Might actually be better do this, create a samurai, but then I can still get hit. I can depopulate. Yeah, let's just depopulate. Take the 2 for 1 here. Their hand's likely a good amount of removal. Wow, they're playing Invoke Despair. Let's get the World Tree. If they're on Invoke, then I'm going to have a bad matchup. Most of these lists don't run Invoke or Hagra. Get Blast Zone going. Want to gain some life here. Because I could blink it with Yorion.
This is what you get for hurting my
Not too worried about Sorin this turn. It's closer to like the Alchemy version of the deck. So Portable Hole is actually pretty solid. So what I can do is I can Portable Hole here. Get rid of this. Blink the Portable Hole, get rid of the Reckoner Bank Bus.
I'll be back.
Put a stop on my end step. Get rid of that. Make a 2/2.
Contend with me. May your blade strike true.
Start making creatures. A plus here. The Hive's going to be kind of annoying.
Innistrad is free.
So here, I'm just going to exile Croxa now. I'll take 3 damage, but can't really do much off that. So I'm doing this, so I lose out on a couple points of damage, but they're more likely to have Fatal Push or something to deal, like Eliminate, like we see here. And this way I get Sorin off the battlefield.
Without me, we're all doomed.
So they can take out my Wandering Emperor, but I can start making tokens. It's a good start. Invoke Despair is kind of annoying.
I still have much to learn.
So I think we do this. Put a charge counter on this to take out the bank bus. Arch is also not bad. I'm gonna do this now. I don't want him to be able to get a card draw off that. So here I can either draw a card or I can make a token, holding this one back because I can block the hive. Again, it's going to be harder for them to deal with Yorion. The one thing here, maybe I should have held back because this plays around removal, which they're going to have. Probably should have held back. So Fateful is actually really good here. Okay, good start. Good start. So waited till then, so then they can't float the mana to cast the treasure. Let's draw a card here, try to find GOLOS maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, so we are short. I can gain 2 life here, but that doesn't play around Croxa. So I'm just going to get Runestone this turn, because how I lose is if they get Croxa and then get to bring it back this turn. On Neat Hook as well. So I can God Pharaoh's statue. I lose Planeswalker. I lose creature. I can get Circuit Mender and Elspeth. I can animate my Runestone. 5. I'm short on that. I think I need to gain the life here.
Right. Let's clean up this town. Be brave.
Because this will at least replace itself, and I can start pushing for this emblem. Ooh, that's scary. Do you get to draw a card here?
Awaken.
They have removal. Yeah. Couldn't do much there. I can push to Emblem here.
Show him what you got.
I think we do. They could have another meat hook. Okay, they just got lands. Because I can go flying next turn.
Let's do this together.
You know what?
Not even gonna activate GOLOS here, so exile all creatures, all enchantments, all graveyards. So I lose my GOLOS, but that should buy me enough time here.
Some solutions must be
Interesting take on Rakdos here. Alright. Got there. That one was close. We do need to add a land to this deck at least. What do we take out? What do we take out? 28, 32. Way too little. Like, we have ways to search up lands, but I don't think it's enough. I think we just trim a Karn. Is there any other utility lands? Just play it like that. Let's give this one more. That first game's a bit frustrating because we have 4 lands, we just never have the second white source, and we drew like 3 extra cards that game. We sweep there with the shield, we're in a really good spot because then we have a follow-up shield sweep. This hand's good. Draw a card, exile something, Karn them. Next turn we got a lot of options actually, which is nice. Could play this, hold this up. Looks like Gruul Gamer. We'll take Brawler. I think this turn, let's do that. Should probably try out a version of Gruul, see how it plays out. I think that's an easy block here. Not hitting land there sucks. Even just hitting 2 of our Mirias hurts there. I don't think it's worth. could have exiled Pelt. Take the 2 here. Karn also doesn't really do much for me. Actually, Karn can make me a token the following turn. I think more than anything, we're just kind of feeling bad. Missing line drops. Because these marches don't work great when you have a bunch of colorless threats. So here... I think we do this. Exile this. Jeez. Give me a freaking land.
I will defend the mountain. Introduce you to a friend of mine.
Taking too much damage. Let's add one more land, give it one more shot. Because they were like hitting stuff, but we're not really doing anything to progress our board. There's like some interesting lines to this deck, but when you can't hit your sweepers on turn, I also think Farewell is probably too slow for this format. At least best of one. I want to curve out here, and if they have Thoughtseize, I don't want to get hit by Thoughtseize. So we'll try this out. So opponent's not really doing much this game, so hopefully we can just resolve one of these GOLOS. Are they just Grease Fang? They are. It's actually decent. Because I get that out of the way. Okay, so we need a land next turn. It's not the land I wanted. So Depopulator Shatter doesn't matter here, but it yielded me the same outcome. I'm gonna sweep here anyways. Let me see what I got here. Yeah. Because they still need 2 pieces here. They need a way to loot into the graveyard, plus a way to get Greasefang back. This is a matchup where Karn comes into a lot of handy. So we World Tree here. Land to be really good. We can still get around Skyship. But land, I want to try to find Karn so they can't crew. And then I can get Runestone. Honestly, even Wandering Emperor at this point is pretty good. Do they have a burn spell? Untap land. Come on. Come on. That's fine. So I should have drawn first. In case I found Karn. I'm gonna do this again because if I find Karn, we're in a good spot. I don't need this for a line drop. And if I could find like March, if I could find Fateful Absence, also good. Crew's an activated ability, so they can't activate that.
I am almost sad to see you go.
We'll take that. Gives me a buffer on my life total. Needs them to have 3 power. A few ways for them to have 3 power. Does this deal to creature or planeswalker? Yeah, so they don't have to attack. Okay, they hard cast Parhelion. GG's. Alright.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Got him. All in all, I think we need that amount of lands in the deck. This is fine. Nothing great, nothing awesome, but we're going to continue going through, trying out decks, seeing what works, what doesn't, and kind of formulating post-Winota what's kind of the go-to in terms of decks. In any case, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great one, and stay safe out there.